Welcome back to Riding Bikes in San Diego. We are riding on Park Boulevard south to the zoo. And we just crossed Robinson and we're in the bike lane. And there's a buffer, but it's also a door zone bike lane. Whatever. It's fine. We're going along here. And when I say we, I mean me and my family. They're right there in front of me. And,
That's fine.
well, we're going
That's
a
fine.
lot faster than these drivers.
That's fine.
There are lots of drivers who want to get to the zoo.
Keep going.
Hey, it's a holiday weekend. Pandas are in
Oh,
town. There's a whole lot of people who want to get there. And once you get into the zoo, you know, that place can accommodate a crowd pretty well, we found. But this is not walking around the zoo in San Diego. This is riding bikes in San Diego. So
I
here we
wonder.
are. And
Actually,
I'm
Sarah
just
said that they were stuck in
enjoying
traffic.
how many drivers we're passing on this. They're on their way to the parking lot, the zoo parking, which, is about um, a third the size of the entire zoo. So, or rather, if you took the entire land of the zoo with its parking lot, the parking lot takes up, I think, a little more than a quarter of that space. But people really love driving there. And it's understandable. There's not robust bus service that goes there. The bus would come down Park Boulevard here, but there's a dedicated bus lane north of University, and there's a dedicated bus lane south of UPS,
This is
but there's no
bonkers.
dedicated bus lane here. So we have
Everybody's using
a
those passes
broken network
before
for
they expire in
transit,
a couple of days.
and that seems to match up with a broken network for people riding bicycles. But if you're driving a car, you have a road, you have lanes, but you just have to contend with everybody else using those lanes at the same time, which is what's happening here. Um, and I don't know how long these people are going to be waiting. We're actually meeting up here with some family, and it's very possible that we're passing them somewhere
This
in this mob
is
of people.
stop, stop,
We're
stop.
going to stop here at the red light, and then when we go, we'd love to stay in the bike lane, but drivers are in it because it's sort of also become a de facto turning lane. We couldn't nose around that anyway. There's no sense in dropping into the bike lane there because
They usually cut
drivers are in
tires,
it,
but
and now it's a turning lane also, which it's actually designed as a turning lane. I'm not
part of it.
busting on them. But my family decided to cut across the lawn at the middle school here. I'm going to go straight, and we're going to negotiate this intersection up ahead.
What is this?
I'm not going to cut the video or anything, but I am going to notice that person parked half on the curb up there, but that's all right. The reason why that's happening is because this is the entrance into some zoo parking,
I feel like maybe we can
and
just get over there.
the other entrance that you're going to see in just a couple minutes
Here,
is
come back
further
this way.
down the
We'll
bike
cross
lane.
the
But right
light.
now we're discussing what's safer. Should we go into the parking lot with all these drivers going into the parking lot where there's no bike lane? We decide instead to come back over here,
We'll cross the light.
especially since we're riding with our kid. We
Go
want as
around
much
that
safety as possible.
car that's
So we're
parked on
going
the curb
to
cut. Oh
just
man.
wait for this light to turn and take a crossover here into the area of Park Boulevard that does have a designed, dedicated space.
That is some parking
This
spot,
poor
huh?
traffic person is there,
That's alright.
and with the bus lane here, plenty of room. And we're gonna get into these flex posts in the buffer, and that whole right lane is a bus bike lane, but can't help but notice that traffic is moving better in the left traffic lane. Of course, it's moving better because all the other drivers are trying to get in to that other spot. Um, but the bus couldn't get over here, and Balboa Park oddly does not have a trolley stop. I say oddly because it's such a wonderful place to visit, and they actually kind of make it really difficult to get to. And those who live in town know that we have a annual debacle called December Nights, where there's a lot of festivities happening in Balboa Park, but they actually this year shut down the bus service during that event because cars need the space. Drivers, just need it more. What actually happens is that they interrupt the bus service and encourage people to go down to the transit plaza. And they do have free bike valet for the event, but you can't ride a bike or a scooter in the event itself. And the valet ends when the event ends. I don't know. It's not great. These are the priorities of the people in charge. And these are the priorities of the people driving cars. Never mind that wait that was all backed up there that we went by, but I can only imagine what the situation is like inside this parking lot off to the right, trying to find a space. We're not going to have to worry about that. We are instead going to stay in this bike lane, turning lane, and we'll communicate with the guards over here real fast, and we're just gonna say, hey, we're coming on in, and we'll get around, and it's pretty clear over here. It's kind of nice, and all those other drivers are banging their heads against their steering wheels trying to figure out what to do. And I'll just cut it a little quickly here, but let me just give you a quick cut, because I think that you know where we end up. We end up at the best parking at the zoo, which of course is the bike rack. So we are going to lock up and then drive less, ride a bike, and see some animals. Thanks for coming along.